Hey guys, welcome back to How To with Kevin. Today I wanted to give you an update on my first project on the channel, which is my DIY concrete countertop project. And if you didn't see that video, you might want to check that one out first, but the gist of it is I took concrete and I skimmed it over top of a laminate countertop. And I've read a lot of your comments, and some people really like it and some people don't like it so much. And so just up front, I want to say that when I decided to do this project, it was really to make what I had better. Because I just didn't like this green looking laminate. And so while it's not top of the line or anything like that, but for under 50 bucks, it was a way just to give it a shot. And I wanted to see how it would turn out. And I went into the project assuming like if it didn't turn out good, I'd just rip it all out and put a new countertop in. But I think personally it looks good. Again, personal preferences aside, everybody likes something different. The couple things I would tell you, you're never gonna get the look of poured concrete if that's what you're looking for. The consistency just won't be that steady because you're putting layer over layer, and again, different mixes, depending on how you're sanding it. And if you watch my first video, I tried to minimize the sanding. And actually where I did most of the sanding was on this side when I first started. And actually did less, and you see a little bit more of a consistent look here. So something to keep in mind, but personally I still like the look of it. One thing that you'll want to notice is I actually have these halogen light bulbs which give it a little bit more of a yellowish cast. I'm going to turn that light off just for a second, and hopefully you can see this and won't too bad, but it really is more of a gray concrete look that you have with a little bit of darker in it. But it's sort of a warm gray. Again, this is just really with like a sunlight type of look to it, so I don't know how this is going to turn out. But it, again, really more of a light gray, but it's warm. And so I just wanted you guys to see that because you might look at this with the halogen lights on and it looks a little bit browner and the pattern looks a little bit worse, and something to keep in mind there. The other thing is, what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you some of the wear and tear of what's has held up, and a couple little areas that don't look so good, and I'll show you exactly what these are and why I think that might have been the problem. And then after we take a good look at it, what I'll do then is I'll just put another layer of sealant on here. And as you guys remember, the sealant I actually used two. I did the impregnator first, which is to give it more of a less glossy look. It's more of a penetrant sealant, so it sort of still has more of the feel of concrete. I was a little concerned that it wouldn't hold up to water, being in the bathroom. And so I ended up putting a high gloss sealant on there. And again, for all these equipments, I have added to the first video as well as this one. I have a whole list of all the supplies I used in the description, so you can check it out. And there's some links in there. And again, none of this is sponsored, but again, you can get right to Amazon and get it. And just know if you were to do it, I would get a little very small commission on that. Would appreciate that if you are going to order it. But again, other than that, there's no sponsor. It's just really you do what's best for you. But what I did is, I put this topical sealant on it, which I think makes it feel a little bit less likely to get water stains in there, but there's a couple areas that I want to show you. I think that maybe it wore down a little bit. It could have been that I didn't put as much on there, but I did put a few coats, so I don't think that was it. And again, it's on the side of the sink I use a lot for the water, and I'm not always great. I'll be the first to confess this. I'm not always great to clean off the countertops when there's water laying there, and so that could partially be, and that's something to keep in mind. So, anyways, let's take a quick look at this countertop. So, as we look through here again, this is the side I was telling you about. A little bit has more of the little bit contrasting here with the grayness, and again, it's a warm gray, almost like a little bit of a brownish cast, but typical for concrete. But overall, this side, there's no differences here, no problems here. The middle is fine. The areas that I have are on this side. And again, this is the sink I use mostly for the water. So there's a spot here that you can see. And again, this is typically where my toothbrush holder is. So probably some water just got under there and just would lay there. Little spot there. And then there's a couple spots here, and I think this might have been when I was cleaning. I was scrubbing this a little too much, and both of these could have been that issue. I think this mostly was probably from the water laying here. This one is probably from a scrubbing issue, and so something to keep in mind. So again, we're going to put another sealant on, and I haven't put another sealer on since the first of the project. So if you look on the container, it says, you know, for every 1 to 12 months, somewhere in there, you should redo it, put another coat on to keep the protection up. Again, I didn't put anything on since the initial project, so maybe it's a little sign we need to do this a little bit more often. But again, other than those two areas, everything else pretty much looks the same. Along the side here, which again, is a little bit worried about this, although I'm, again, not brutal on my stuff, but no cracks here. And again, you know, I had a great question saying, like, how thick do I think this concrete is? It fits 1/8 of an inch. I would say that's probably on the high side, because the times you put the coats on, it's pretty thin. If you sand it down any, obviously it's going to get thinner. And so could it be as much as 1/4 of an inch? Maybe. I doubt there's that much on here. But anyways, the edges, fine, no chipping. So that all looked good. So everything really has held up well. Again, it's just a personal preference whether you like the look of this or you don't. And if you don't, again, if you can spend hundreds, thousands of dollars and make a really high quality look, I'm not arguing with this, but if you want to do something for under 50 bucks for maybe it's a place where you have a rental, or you are looking to flip a house quickly, or trying to sell your house because you don't want to be there very long, to me this is a good way or good option to update the look before you sell it, and again, give you more of this neutral look, you know, neutral sort of in, although that may be going away a little bit, but you know, for most of the 2000s, there's been a lot of neutral looks when people are selling houses, so this is one way to do that. So on top of that, let's go ahead and just put a quick coat of sealant on here, and then we'll wrap her up. Okay, so again, this is the high gloss finish sealer from Miracle Sealants that I used the first time. So again, just have some left over. I'm gonna do that, put my gloves on. And again, this list, if you're looking for this sealant, is it's in the description. Okay, let's take this off, and this over here. And the great thing about the sealer is, and this will not take long, and you'll see this, you just gotta put one coat on, pretty light. Just want to make sure it's not real heavy. What I'm actually going to do, just as I do this, I'm going to actually touch spot those other spots first. Okay. And you'll see, like, when you first put this on, it definitely shows some discoloring, but it'll clear. And as I've said in the first video, I really like the look of the first sealer, the impregnator sealer, and not using this one. But knowing that this sealer I put on top of the impregnator and it still had a couple areas, it makes me think that this was probably a good idea to put this one on. Maybe I needed to put another coat or two, or maybe I just need to do this more often. But again, I just worried that the regular impregnator would leave stains. And I don't have stains anywhere, just those wearing. So again, you just want to put this on so it leaves a shine. Not on too heavy. Might put a second coat on just because of those spots. But really, I would think if you're already in good shape and you don't have those spots, I probably wouldn't worry about it. I would just go ahead and put one coat on and call it a day. And again, just along the edges here. And you can really see, like, where the sealant, you know, where they had those spots. Definitely absorbing it in there. So I'm just putting a little bit extra there. Okay, as we work our way across. You guys are probably timing me, and hopefully you're still with me. I know how YouTube is. We don't have a lot of patience. We always want to move to the next one. But you can see this is such a quick project. Even if you do this once a month, which maybe I need to do, so I won't have those issues, it doesn't take long at all. All right, so let me just go through, and really what you can do is just wait for it to be heavy. What you want to make sure, though, is when it comes out as a milky look in here. So if you leave a spot on there, you probably have a milky dry spot. So you just want to make sure it's all leveled out. All right. Okay, so again, I didn't have to even speed this video up here, and some of you guys, again, probably saying, why didn't you? But again, this is the concrete project, the DIY concrete countertop project from over 6 months ago now. It's held up pretty well. Would I do it again? I would. Again, I might have done a little bit more sealant more often, but overall I think it looks really good. And again, this is just one of the projects that we look to continue to keep doing on this channel. And so that's that. Just takes a couple minutes to put the sealant on. Again, I might put another coat on just because of those couple of areas. But again, I'm still happy with this project and I would do it again. So if you guys have tried this or are thinking about trying it and you end up doing it, definitely feel free to leave a comment. Look to see how it's working for you. And if there's any other tips that worked better for you than worked for me, I'm more than happy to do another video to share that with everybody, the information. Again, that's what this channel's about. As we learn to do things, show other people how to do it, and again, I'm here to learn just as much. So anyways, definitely leave a comment, and if you like this video, please push that like button. It really helps me with YouTube. Again, the more people that like it, they send it to more people, and to that point, the more people that get there, hopefully will subscribe. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel, definitely consider doing that. The bigger the community goes, the more I can justify spending more time to do more things here, more projects. So definitely could use your help with that. So anyways, I look forward to talking to you guys soon on the next project. Take care and have a great rest of your day. Thanks again for watching.